In a previous video, we demoed how to get an accurate row count for all tables or specific user tables in a database for IBM DB2. And as we said, it can be done similarly for SQL Server, Oracle, PostgresSQL, and MySQL. So in this video, we just do some quick demo. It will not be very detailed, but just show the basic approach and how simple it is. So the basic approach, it is first we connect the database, either local or remote. We can be used either with username password or without, depends on the setting. And the database can be either on Linux or Windows or other platform, as long as we can connect. Okay. And after we connect database, we get a list of tables. Then for each table, we do a counter start for each table. And in another way, for sometimes for performance reason, you may just generate a SQL statement and then run later. Okay, the similar thing. But for this demo, we try to keep it as simple as a one-liner as possible. The prerequisites, because we're going to use Linux shell to manipulate this loop. So that is our prerequisite. Okay. So let's start with SQL Server. So on this task box, I have a local SQL Server, but it doesn't matter. So there's a local system server, and also I have some other databases on the local. It's MySQL, PostgresSQL, and also have like the local Oracle install running and the DB2. So it's a small box, but have the majority of database running. So we're going to use this system for demo. Okay. So first, we're going to demo for SQL Server on Linux. As we know, for SQL Server, people more often use T-SQL than use the shell. Okay, because T-SQL is very popular in the SQL Server world. Okay, so but this demo we just see how simple use the shell. Okay. For this demo, we're going to use the database on Linux. So later we're going to also do a demo for the database on Windows. Okay, so let's start. So I think I already have this script. Let's take a look at the script. Okay, so we have this script. It's so very simple script. Let's take a look. Okay, so that is for the SQL. So you see, in this script, I have a database name called AdventureWorks 2022, and it is on a server. So let me run this so you can see it's what is the result. Then we will continue work on this script. Okay. So this script need a pass variable. So I have a server name called this one. So this is actually local. So local, or it really doesn't matter because we connect. So then we will get the table row count and the table name. But as you know, in the SQL world, sometimes this table can have table name can contain white space. So rigorously, we need to use like a bracket to quote those tables. Okay, but here for simplicity, I'm just make it simple. Okay, all right. So let's work on this script from scratch. Okay, so as we said, for any database, first we need to connect the database first. Okay, so let's do a connection first. So for simplicity, let me just hard-coded this as just hard-coded as the This is my server name. This is the database name. And first, I'm going to see SQL CMD connect the server or instance and connect the database. And this is some like options, and then run this query. So on this query, we're gonna get a list of tables. So let's do it, okay? So you can see it. So I'm gonna just simply run this script because I already hard-coded the server name. Now you can see it, right? So it is the table list. So let me do this then. So let me connect to this server. So as I said, it is A8B. So this is our server. So if we see add version, you can see that is SQL Server 2002 on a Linux server. So in this case, I'm using a Linux, Arma Linux late 8. Also, if you see the databases, we do have a database name called Adventure Workers 2002. So that is the Linux database, So, all right, so let me continue with this. So I get this. Now, once we connect, right, so then we get a list of the tables. Let me show something else, okay? So this -h -1, it is basically the option to remove the header, and set no account, basically like when you run a query, if you have rows, you will see how many rows returned. So we just, because we only want to clean list table, so those some options. This MySQL should remove the wipe space. They're just SQL CMD's options. So, and so it's very simple. And after that, so now we're gonna do the loop, right? So the first one we get the table name, the second one is table schema. So then we construct a while loop, right? So after we construct a while loop, and then we run the command again, same thing, connect the database with those options, then just run this count star against the table. Okay, so now let's see, let's try one more time. So then you can see it's get to the table row count for each table. Okay, so and as I said, this method is loop against each table, connect the database, do a row count. Okay, so sometimes it can be a little bit slower because you have to connect. So the alternative, if you, as I said, if you don't want this, you can do like this. Okay, so you can simply just see echo, right? So let's see, you can see simply echo. Should be fine, right? Like this. Okay, so let's do this. So if we do run this, we will get you can save this as a file to a SQL script and then run this whole SQL script after you connect. Okay, so for that one, I don't think we need these things. Okay, we just simply need this one. Okay, so basically we construct a SQL statement or SQL like to run later. So let's see if we save as a SQL script. So if we say we call this one, then we can run this script using whatever tool you like. You can use SSMS or something, So this is basically a similar thing. You can run this instead of one by one. You can run as a single. So, all right. So this is the SQL Server for Linux. So now let's move on to some others. For Oracle, for those one, I try to make it as simple as possible because I don't want to be very detailed. Mainly, as we said, it is the methodology. So the approach is just, It connect database, get a list of tables, and do a count star. So that is what we try to demo. Okay, so and now let's move to Oracle. So for Oracle, it's more convenient, do it from the Oracle user. Okay, so I'm gonna switch to Oracle user. Maybe not. No, let me just see if I already. So let's do a look. Because nowadays Oracle is used this one, so use like pluggable database. So I think regardless, so we can either log on to Oracle user or just connect remote. Okay. All right. So this is SQL. I needed the Oracle one. So let's get to the Oracle one. Okay. Battery is low. Okay, so let me get to the Oracle one. Okay. So the Oracle one is similar thing. For the Oracle, I have a database called free pluggable database one, and I'm using a very simple schema called the Scar Tiger. If people work on Oracle, you see this is very old, But anyway, it's just a demo. Okay. So for this one, let me just run it. Okay, first. So if I run this one, you can see it. This has like 4 tables, very like 30 some years ago. It's been used for has been 30 some years. Okay, so let's work on this script from scratch. Okay, so as I said, first we need get the list of tables. Okay, similar thing. So I'm gonna do one line by line. So our database, pluggable database called free DB. So this echo statement is basically the SQL statement to get the table list. Then pipe to this SQL plus username, password, and this is the local one through the port 1521 and the database name, and then get the table list. Okay, so let's run this. So this is connect database and run the query and get the table. Let's see, missing a slash. Okay, you see I got 4 tables. To some options there, the reason is why I'm using like set pages equals 0. They just remove those headers, feedbacks, those kind of things, and also like empty lines. Okay, so in this way we just have a purely the list of tables. After that, as we typically do, right? So we're gonna pipe to the while loop. So while loop just read each table name, because this time we keep it simple. We only interested in this SCART schema. So if we have multiple schemas, we're gonna do the different. But this strategically, the methodology is fine. So similar thing. Then you see, this is the query. We're gonna do the select count star and go to the SQL plus and then complete the loop. Okay, so let's do the Oracle one. Yeah, so this is the Oracle one. Okay, so Oracle so we use SQL plus to interact with Oracle. Now let's do the Postgres. So the Postgres, I'm going to just, for the Postgres, for this case, I'm going to just sudo to the Postgres user, in my case. Postgres, okay, so for that, because in this use, I can type a PSQL and connect to the database, right? So it's pretty straightforward, okay? So let's look at our script. Okay, so I have a script called PostgresSQL, and I have a database name called DVD rental. That is all the sample database. Okay, so let's take a look. So if I do a PSQL and L, so you can see the database name. So this is one of the database name. Okay, So let's quit this session, work on the script, okay? It can be a one-liner or a simple, okay? So you can see PSQL minus D, that is when we connect this database. We even don't need this line because we hard-coded the database name. Then minus C is we're gonna run this command called DT, \DT. It is going to give the table list that is specific for the Postgres. Minus T, minus Q is quiet and just for the table format. So whatever options is, and then get the table list. We can see it very quick. Okay, so if we do similar, we did here, just see what the table is before we pipe to the while loop. Okay, so if we just run this first line, you can see it, and it gathered a clean table list. So you see this is the table list. So table, public table, and this is the database. No, not database. I think it is going to be the owner or something. Let's see if I do a PSQL minus D. So see if I do a DT. What is this columns? Owner, yeah. So owner schema in this case is public. So. And so as I've said, this is for the demo, we just keep it simple, okay? So we don't have to be very strict, and we just want to see the methodology. So once we get the table list, and then we are going to read, because as you see early, because you have those bars, so we just read, to this column. So we want to read this column, okay, and only get the table, get the table name. So then after that, so we can just run another query. So you see here the same thing, PSQL minus C, select count star, and rest of those option. It's not important, just specific to this. Now we run this, you can see they give the the table count for each table. All right, so this is the SQL for the Postgres. So now let's see. I have the last the one for the MySQL. Okay, so MySQL is a similar thing. So in my case, let's see, I can connect my database, use MySQL with local, and then the command is show databases. We can see what databases on this system, not Go, and it's like this. Okay. So for this one, here we have called the classic model database, right? So we're going to use the syntax for the MySQL. Okay, so let's VITRC MySQL. So MySQL, same thing. So we're gonna use MySQL to connect the database and run this show tables, the query. Minus S is silent. Okay, then we're gonna read. Okay, so let's do the similar thing. You can see it, the connect the database and give the table list. Okay, so I'm gonna run this simple script. You can see it. Yeah, so to give you can see the table this one. Okay, so let's go back to this one, and let's see this one. All right, so let me run this to see what is. I may need a slight change. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, so yeah, so they give the correct result for MySQL. Let's go back to the script one more time. Similar thing. Connect the database and give the table list. Go to the while loop for each table. Similar thing. Connect database and run count star to each table. So this is MySQL. So that is the simple demo for this for kind of RDBMS. As I said, I would like also show a not a DB2 connect DB, not DB2. Okay, connect DB on Windows. So I'm also going to show a similar for the SQL Server on Windows. So right now I'm on Linux, so I have the SQL CMD just connect to the remote SQL Server on Windows. So I'm going to do SQL CMD -s, and the remote SQL Server is called W22. Okay, so if we check the version of that database, you can see it, and then version. Okay. So it is Microsoft SQL Server 2022 and Developer Edition on Windows 2000 Standard Edition. So that database remote in another server, but it's Windows. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. And before we do that, let's see what database on that server. We also have a Adventure database on that server as well. Not show its SP databases. Okay, so we also there have a database like that. Okay, all right. So let's go back to the script we already did. So that is SQL. So early we the database under Linux. So now we switch to another one. It's W2. Okay, let me remove this line. And the same database name, then we do the same thing. So it only we only change, or we can use as we previously used $1 to pass these parameters, or maybe $2 to pass the database name. But regardless, so again, just simply run this one, SQL, and let's see, W22. That is for the Windows, right? Say, oh, I should yeah, I should remove this one. Okay, so we just echo. Okay, so it is using the Linux while loop to count to loop against. So if we want a different database, as we already did 8B. And so we got for the Linux one. Okay, so let me Control C. Let me modify this script a little bit for the flexibility. So let's see here. I'm going to use $2 for the database. So let's go back to the Windows one. So $2. I know I have a test database there. There's no table, so that is why it doesn't give anything. So, and if on this, yeah, so if on AB, so test, I don't have anything neither. So yeah, it's even give the because there's no test database on this Linux server. So okay, so let's summarize quick. Okay, so the most important thing it is like the strategy. Okay, and with this approach, many things can be accomplished easily. Not only for a single server. If you have a bunch of server, you can we can accomplish the same thing. We can loop against each server, and to accomplish the similar thing. For example, let's see for this one. Let me go back to no. Let me just use. So for this, we just did like this one, add venture works 2022. Okay, so we can run the same script with different parameters, from different server and database. Yeah, so that is very flexible. So mainly this approach, and it's can be used across the platform, across the database, and the power our way to interacting with the databases. Okay, so that's be all for this video.